Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, the Brooke Ashley, and today we are here to discuss the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. And baby, I hope that you guys are comfortable. Please grab your wine, champagne. I have my rosé because this is everything.
We drinking strawberry and champagne. Hold on, let me get a strawberry. Let me get a strawberry. I love it. Strawberry in my drink.
This is just chef's kiss. The production, I like how they break the fourth wall. I like how they talk about they're on a TV show. It's just so real. It's unfiltered. I'm liking people who I didn't really care for. I'm loving Kenya. I'm loving Melissa a lot. I'm also liking Teresa. I'm liking Luann. And I'm like, oh my gosh, any other time I think that Luann is just rude and pretentious and she just always acts so affected, like she's just too good, but I'm really enjoying her. Now, Ramona, that's another story. We're going to get into her in just a few minutes. But I'm liking a lot of the dynamics in the house. I like the newfound friendships and alliances. I'm also liking Kyle. And you guys know how I feel about Miss Kyle Richards when I'm reviewing Beverly Hills, especially this last season, because she really wore me thin. But Kyle, I'm actually feeling her. Cynthia, you're usually level-headed, but you pissed me off. And we're going to get into that when we do the next recap. But let me just say, if you're not watching Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, stop what you're doing, pay the $4.99, and thank me later because this is quality television. Bravo, I think that you guys have a winning formula with this one. I'm excited to see what the next casts are going to be for seasons 2 and 3. And also, I think that you guys need to really look into doing a housewife swap when the seasons come back on. I would like to see how somebody on Potomac would act in Beverly Hills. I would like to see how somebody in Atlanta would fare in Jersey. I would like to see how the Jersey girls would do in OC. You guys get my drift. But I really like this whole all the housewives coming together and us really seeing different facets of their personalities. But with all that being said, let's just jump right on into it because we don't have a minute to spare. And cheers to a brand new series that we are all going to be obsessed with. So good. And don't judge me because yes, this is a nice full glass of rosé. We started off with Kyle saying that for years she has been asked by a lot of fans if the housewives from other franchises would ever get together. Luann says that this is like Housewives on crack, and I agree. Then we see them talking about how well they know each other or what they've heard about each other. Ramona says that she's heard that Kenya is tough, but she can be tough too. I said, no, Ramona, the word that you're looking for is straight up jackass because that's what you are. Ramona is entitled, she's self-centered, she's rude, she talks down to people, she looks down on people. So no, sweetheart, you are not tough. That is the wrong adjective for you. You are just rude. And Ramona can't help herself. She continues to exhibit poor behavior and she just doesn't care. I really wonder what her daughter thinks. I wonder if her daughter ever tells her, Mom, you know you have a problem, right? Like I can't imagine that Avery thinks that her mom's behavior is acceptable. And don't you worry because I'm going to be going in on Ramona time and time again throughout this recap because she really tried it from start to finish. Teresa's in her confessional and she says that everybody in this group is not an OG, especially her sister-in-law, Melissa. I said, now, Teresa, I understand that you still have a bone to pick with Melissa about how she went behind your back and got on the show, but she's been on the show since season 3. No, she's not an original, but girl, I mean, she's been on the show now for over 9 years. I think that counts for something. I think that once you hit the 9-10 year status of Housewives, you can start to look at yourself as an OG. Just my opinion. Because look at Candy from Atlanta. Candy joined the show in season 2, and now she's been on the show for, 11, 12 years now? So I would look at her as, I guess, an OG of the show. But it's evident that Teresa still can't stand Melissa. And we're going to see that as the episodes progress. Kyle says that she knows Melissa and Ramona the most, and how Ramona actually dated one of Mauricio's friends years ago. And we know that Ramona is just so weird and goofy. We know that it didn't last with her and Mauricio's friend. I'm sure he was like, oh no, this lady is psycho, like, peace, I'm out. So now Melissa says that she knows all the ladies pretty well, but she especially knows Kyle and Ramona the most. She says that her and Kyle actually vacation together quite often. I was like, oh, who knew? Now we flip over to Cynthia, and she says that everybody calls her up about Kenya because they're kind of nervous. She's like, they all watch the show, and they see how Kenya is the shade assassin. I mean, all of these ladies on their shows can be just as nasty too, so I don't know why they would be just so afraid of Kenya. Now it's 48 hours later, and all of the women are on their way to the private plane to take them to the fabulous Turks and Caicos. So on Melissa and Teresa's car ride to the plane, we see Melissa drop a bombshell that Ramona told Kyle that she doesn't think that Teresa is smart. She said that Teresa was like a scarecrow, like no brain. So Teresa's like, what? Like, why would she say that? She doesn't even know me. Like, I don't think that she has a brain. Now, you can say what you want about Teresa, but Mama knows how to finesse a book deal. She knows how to market herself quite well. There is nothing dumb about that. Second of all, Ramona has the audacity to talk about anybody's intelligence. Ramona operates like somebody who has zero intelligence. Like, are you kidding me? She is constantly saying something ignorant. The way she showed her ass this past season of New York, when they had that Black Shabbat dinner, girl, don't ever talk about anybody being or sounding stupid, because that's you all day. Ramona is top 3 most ignorant people across all the franchises. So I would keep it real cute and real quiet trying to insult anybody else. But like I said earlier, Ramona has that attitude where she thinks that she is better than people, and she thinks that she's better than Teresa. That's why she made that slick comment about Teresa not being smart. So they all arrive on the private plane, and they toast to a fabulous trip. Now, of course, the plane isn't up in the air for more than 15 minutes, and things already go left. Kyle makes a remark that she's actually really shy. So now Cynthia jumps in and says that she's the same way. She's socially awkward, and when she's out, she doesn't like it to be all eyes on her, and she's like, put me in the corner somewhere. I personally call BS on that, because if you're truly shy like you say you are, you would not be signing up to join the hottest reality TV show in the game. And Cynthia, the way you've been going on this long, sad tour to every single news outlet about how sad you are that Andy did not renew your contract to come back to RHOA, stop. Here comes Ramona talking stupid like she always does. She's like, you know what? It took a really long time for me to realize that I was famous and a celebrity. Kenya's like, that makes no sense, girl. You're on a TV show. How could you not know? Then Ramona says, and by the way, New York put the whole franchise on the map. Like, we started all, we paved the way. Ramona, the delusions. How did New York put everything on the map when y'all were not the first franchise? OC was the first franchise ever in 2007. Y'all came along in 2008. And yes, New York was cute. It made a cute splash. I watched, I enjoyed it. But Atlanta is a franchise that really set it off. They had the highest ratings. I think 3 million people watched their premiere. You guys did not have the numbers that Atlanta had. You just didn't.
You not fab like that to be doing all of that. Learn your place, earn your spot.
So everybody's like, girl, stop. Kyle says in her confessional, well, that might be so, but Beverly Hills has the highest ratings right now. I mean, girl, you guys have the highest ratings right now because of Erica Jane and all her craziness. And yes, Beverly Hills is some good drama, but ratings-wise, they were always solid. Atlanta was holding down the fort. Atlanta was beating everybody. They held the highest ratings title for a decade. Teresa says, girl, call me when you're the first one to invent table flipping. Like, I started that on my show. And you can say what you want, but that first season of Jersey was everything and more. So now the conversation changes gears and Cynthia makes an announcement. She lets everybody know that this is Kenya's first time ever leaving her baby. And she also had like a cute cardboard cutout of baby Brooklyn. So now Kenya's getting emotional. All the ladies are like, oh, that's so cute. Cynthia brings out scissors and some ribbon and she wants Kenya to cut it because that's her way of cutting the cord by leaving Brooklyn at home. So Cynthia proposes that all the ladies allow Kenya to have the master bedroom when they get to the villa. Child, they were not feeling Cynthia's idea at all. They were all like, that's real sad that Kenya's having a hard time, but we all got problems, and I don't think that that's cool that Kenya just automatically gets the best room in the house. I mean, that's really nice of Cynthia to do that. I feel like Cynthia did that because she wanted a moment. I don't know. I just felt like, girl, you guys should all get to decide or play a game or something about who gets the best room. I don't think it should be so automatic. Well, she's going through all these problems. Let's just give her the best room in the house. I don't know what it is, but that whole display for Kenya, it felt very disingenuous to me for some reason. I don't know why. And I feel like the other ladies felt like it was fake too, because even Melissa was like, I had no idea that they were just such great friends. Like, I don't know. I feel like the ladies weren't really buying Cynthia's nice gesture. You know why it felt disingenuous to me? It felt like Cynthia was trying to show out in front of other people that her and Kenya are just such great friends. You know how some people act when they get around your other friends or they get around a group of new people, they want to prove to everybody else that you two are just such great friends, kind of like marking their territory because they don't want anybody else to get close to you. That's how it felt. And we do see how that plays out in the later episodes, but I digress. So now Ramona interjects and she's like, by the way, I'm planning the dinner tonight and we're going to be going to the conch shack that me and Luann went 2 years ago, the last time we were in Turks and Caicos. So now Melissa says, Ramona, is this when you were cock blocking all the ladies? And everybody starts laughing. So Ramona's like, well, I know the owner, his name is John. I think he's cute and I was flirting with him. Baby, when they rolled that tape back and we saw that Ramona was on that man like white on rice. Side note, when it comes to Ramona and Luann's energy with men, it's very desperate. Like, they can never just play coy and be sexy. They're always just, like, on the prowl. They're just always just so, like, I want this man. And they're just not sexy with it. There's no coolness. There's no swag with them. Especially Ramona. Her energy is just so frantic and just weird and very like spastic. It's just awful. I said, Melissa, she was not cock blocking. She was just being a weirdo. Okay. Now Kenya goes on to ask Ramona a question and she's like, oh, so you were flirting with this guy? Were you still married at the time? And Ramona says, I mean, I was, but I was going through the divorce with Mario. So now Kenya's like, but you just said that you were flirting with him. So now Ramona's like, I was going through a divorce, bitch. And Kenya's like, hold on, wait a minute. I don't know how you do it in New York, but what I will tell you is that don't sit up here and call me a bitch. Now, Ramona, come here. Get close, sis. You need to watch your damn mouth. And you're very lucky that Kenya has restraint, because a lot of folks would have cursed you clean out. And Kenya went easy on you. Like I'm going to keep saying, Ramona is an asshole. And let me also add this, Ramona has always been, in my opinion, very racist. Her actions, the way she's so damn ignorant, I just don't like it. And I also didn't like how she kept calling Kenya Portia throughout the episode. I felt like she was doing that on purpose. She was trying to be cute. And also, Kenya and Cynthia are the only two black women in this house. The same way you can learn everybody else's name, learn the black women's name in the house too. Ramona does that slick stuff and I see right through it. But I was really pissed off because I was like, there was no reason for you to call Kenya out of her name. It wasn't that deep. She was only asking a question for clarification. And you were still married to Mario. Despite you going through a divorce, you were still legally married, sis. And you were flirting or being desperate with the owner of the conch shop. All right? Because like I said, Ramona always acts so desperate around men. It's just embarrassing. So everybody on the plane is like, Lord, like, here we go. We haven't even touched down in Turks and Caicos yet, and already Ramona is showing her ass. So Melissa says, Ramona, say you're sorry, apologize, and admit that you were wrong for calling her a bitch. Kyle's like, I mean, how did that conversation go left so fast? And we know that Kyle cannot stand confrontation, so she just wanted them to make up quickly. So Ramona gives a half-assed apology. Kenya's still giving her a side eye, like, okay, I'm going to accept this apology, but Ramona, you better not try this again. So they finally touch down in Turks and Caicos, and they arrive to the villa. The villa is absolutely breathtaking. Stunning. 7 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, tennis court. The view is just magnificent. The pool is gorgeous. Everything is gorgeous. They're greeted by the staff, and they're also greeted by Michael, their villa concierge. Michael is a cutie pie. I like him a lot. But Miss Luann, girl, like I was saying a few minutes ago, I'm going to need you to stop being so desperate. Luann was all over Michael. It was like very reminiscent of her being all over the sexy pirate who looked like Johnny Depp in season 5 when they were in St. Bart's. And we know how Luann gets around a cute guy. She just acts like a total fool. So while the ladies are still outside, enjoying their drinks, talking to Michael, just walking the grounds, Ramona goes inside under the guise of she has to use the bathroom. We all know that's a bold-faced lie. If you've been watching New York, then you know that every time they go on vacation, Ramona shows her entire ass and she acts so entitled and has to have the best room in the house. So since Kenya, it's already been decided that she's going to have the master bedroom, Ramona is trying to find the second best bedroom in the house. So now Ramona has selected her room. She's already on the bed. I was like, that is such a pet peeve of mine when people are on the bed with their outside clothes on. Like, it's just so disgusting. You were on a plane, you were in a car, take a shower first, take your clothes off, and then get on the bed. Like, that is just such a pet peeve of mine. The ladies all go inside, and they're trying to find their rooms. So, of course, they stumble on the room that Ramona has selected, and they're like, Ramona, get your behind out this bed. Who told you that this was going to be your room in the first place? So she's like, I'm the eldest, so I deserve this room. Everybody's rolling their eyes like, you're just so nasty and just so entitled. Like, what is your problem? Kenya is really irritated. She just cannot stand Ramona and her antics. Melissa says, Ramona, I love you to death, but you're not special. Like, get your behind out this bed, and this isn't your room. Like, you're just so rude. So Ramona's like, no, this is my room. And so while they all walk out of the room, she closes the door and she's like, I'm getting in the shower. Somebody should have taken Ramona's luggage and thrown it out in the backyard where the pool is, because she's just so insufferable. Everybody's getting situated in their rooms. Melissa and Kyle are going to be sharing one of the suites, and they have to share a bathroom. Kyle's like, look, I'm pretty easygoing. Who really cares? Because at the end of the day, my home in LA is gorgeous. So I'm not even going to trip at the fact that I have to share a room and a bathroom with Melissa. Now it's time for lunch, and Cynthia and Teresa are sitting next to each other at the table. They start talking about Ramona. They're both like, her attitude is unacceptable. Cynthia says she's the oldest one in this group, like 64, 65. She needs to act like it and act like she has some sense. So now I was screaming at the shade that Teresa threw in her confessional. She's like, Ramona only has 800,000 Instagram followers and I have 2.2 million. So if she wants to talk about her being an OG and all this seniority, like, baby, I have more fans. So speak of the devil, Ramona comes out to join them for lunch, and she was wearing this really sexy cover-up, and like she was naked underneath. She had on like a G-string and like some pasties to cover her nipples. Now, I will say, Ramona tries way too hard to be sexy. Like, she's just a wannabe, and it's like, girl, just be easy. Like, I don't know what it is about Ramona. It's her energy. It's just her whole overall being. She just can't be sexy even if she tried. And Lord knows she tries real hard and it falls flat each and every time. So they're all like, Ramona, are you naked? And she's like, no, like, I'm not naked. Like, I have something under it. It was like, girl. And the way her and Luann keep flirting with Michael, their villa concierge, I'm like, Michael does not want y'all. Please get that through your heads. He does not want y'all. So now Teresa turns to Kyle and brings up how Ramona made that comment to her about how she's a scarecrow and how she's not smart. So Kyle's like, yeah, she did say that about you. Teresa's pissed off and she's like, I'm going to bring it up, but I just want you guys to know that I don't start fights. I finish them. I said, now, if you watch Jersey, you know that Teresa has no problem getting in the gutter with you. I said, Ramona, you got the wrong one, because Teresa is not who you want to have beef with. So now everybody is getting ready for the night, and we see Melissa and Kyle. They're getting ready, but they're also talking about something that's been going on Twitter. Melissa brings up how there's this Twitter account that's been recording their every single move. So Melissa's kind of creeped out, and she's like, this person must be getting tipped off by somebody in this house, because they already tweeted about Kenya and Ramona's fight on the plane, and they know what was said verbatim. So Kyle's like, yeah, that is kind of strange. We're going to bring this up tonight at dinner. Don't worry. I said, now, Kyle, we see how you do on Beverly Hills. You'll say we're going to bring this up, and then you'll leave the other person out to dry and then stand back and watch them get burned. So I said, Kyle, make sure that you bring this up to the table and don't let Melissa bring this up. And you just sit there in case somebody gets mad at her. All the ladies get in the cars to head on over to dinner. I was screaming because Kenya got into the car with Ramona. And you know how her and Ramona have gotten into it quite a few times already. So she was just like, ugh. So she's like, I don't want to be in this car. So then she's like, you know what? I'll just sit in the back because I don't want to sit next to Ramona. Ramona's upset because we know how Ramona is. She'll piss you off, but then she's upset if you're angry at her. So now Teresa gets in the car with Kenya and Ramona, and Teresa's also like, oh, like really? Because you know that she can't stand Ramona because Ramona called her dumb. So now they're in the car and I was crying. Ramona's trying to make small talk and Kenya and Teresa did not say a word to her. The way they paid her dust, I was here for it. Candidates, take notes, because when those Potomac ladies come for you, pay them dust the same way that Kenya and Teresa were paying Ramona dust. I mean, they did not say one word to Ramona. She was sitting there looking stupid. They finally arrive to the conch shack, and Ramona is just in all of her glory because her boyfriend in her head, John, comes over to the table and he greets them. He's like, hey, Ramona, I know what you want to drink. I'm going to send over some shots for all you ladies. And Ramona's sitting there. She has her breasts pushed up like this, and she's doing this with her hair. It's like, Ramona, girl. Again, you don't need to do all that. If you're that girl, if you bad like you think you are, then just sit there and rest. John does not want you because when a man wants you, he's going to make it plain. And you don't need to do all of that. He would have been scooped you up when he first saw you 6 years ago, but he didn't because he's not interested. And you doing all of that in front of him, it's like, don't you have any pride? They're all laughing at Ramona trying to flirt. And so they're imitating her. Melissa says that she's embarrassed for her. I said, Melissa, you and I both. So now Kyle brings up how stuff has been leaking to the press about their whereabouts and about what's been going on in the house. So she's like, does anybody know Anthony from TMZ? Kenya, I think that you know him. Kenya says, yeah, I know Anthony, but why would I talk to him when I'm on vacation? Cynthia says, I'm not saying that Kenya leaked anything to the press, but I am saying that she does know Anthony. Now, me personally, I think that somebody from production is feeding Twitter accounts stuff about what's going on in the house. I just would hope that these ladies are not that desperate for attention that they would leak bits and pieces of their own show. But my money is on production leaking info to the press. Now, Melissa interjects and says, but this person on Twitter knew the whole entire argument that you and Ramona had on the plane. So Kenya says, well, honestly, that's not really a surprise because I hear that Ramona does stuff like that all the time. So now Ramona gets upset and she's like, I hate the press, okay? Like, I don't talk to the press. And Kenya, you don't know me. So now Kenya and Ramona get into it yet again. And now Ramona decides that she wants to give another half-assed apology. Luann makes a joke about how Ramona is the apologizer. So now Kenya starts getting on Ramona, and I was here for it. She was like, Ramona, do you know that people in this house don't want to be in the same room as you? Ramona's deflecting as always. And then Cynthia, trying to be the peacemaker that she thinks that she is, she pulls Ramona over to the side, and they have a heart-to-heart. So now Cynthia brings up when Ramona called Kenya a bitch earlier when they were on the plane. So Ramona's like, well, I mean, I call all my friends bitch. So Cynthia's like, that's all well and good, but you and Kenya don't have that rapport yet. Like, y'all are not friends like that to be doing all of that. So Cynthia keeps bringing up point after point after point about Ramona and her reckless behavior. And so Ramona's like, look, how can I rectify this whole situation and make it all right? Cynthia says, go over to the table and apologize to everybody. Make it sincere. Just own it, say I did a bad job, and please forgive me. Ramona says that she grew up tough, she had a tough life, a tough childhood, a tough marriage, so that's why she has such a poor delivery. Again, I'm really tired of people using sob stories as to why they act so poorly. Ramona feels like that's a valid reason to be nasty. Like, I don't understand that. She acts like she's 5 years old with no filter. Like, you are a 65-year-old woman. I'm not understanding the disconnect of why you can't just be a normal person. No one's saying that you have to walk around and act like you're just so super nice, but just be respectful. Like, how hard is that? Damn. It's annoying. Cynthia and Ramona hug, and then Cynthia says that she's still trying to see the good in Ramona. I said, girl, good luck with that. So Ramona goes back to the table. She gives her staged apology that Cynthia told her to say. And she's like, I want to start fresh with you guys. Please forgive me. I know I started off on the wrong foot, but I'm sorry. So now Teresa's like, okay, that's all well and good. Thank you for that. But I want to address that scarecrow comment that you said to Kyle about me a few days ago. Like, you don't even know me, and you're sitting up there calling me dumb. Ramona walks over to Teresa, and she's like, I'm sorry, I didn't know you. I just didn't think that you were that bright. Now, whether or not you think that somebody is smart or not, that is not something that you should say to their face or say out loud. Keep some thoughts to yourself. And again, Ramona, you are the last person to talk about anybody's intelligence. You have the emotional intelligence of a flea. You are constantly saying ignorant stuff and you don't want to learn anything new. So now Teresa's like, look, that kind of hurt my feelings. And it's like, I'm a New York Times best-selling author. I've written 6 books, so there have to be some brains in here. So all the ladies are good. Everybody's on one accord now. Teresa and Ramona have made up. They share a hug. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Won't he do it? And they're finally having a good time. Baby, the music got to going. They all started dancing. And it was really nice to just watch them have a good time, let loose. I was like, no more fighting or bickering. Ramona is shutting the entire F up. She's not putting her foot in her mouth. They're not annoyed with her. I said, small victories. So now they're all back at the villa, and we see the final scene with Ramona and Kyle in the kitchen. Ramona is encouraging Kyle because Kyle still has a lot of body image issues. She says that she never feels good about how she looks. And then she goes on to say that when she was a little girl, she was in a movie, and then when she went into school the next day, all the kids told her that she looked fat, and she was like, I know. So that still kind of haunts her. So now Ramona's getting upset, and she's like, I just don't understand why you don't see what I see. Like, you're a beautiful woman, you have a beautiful shape, like, I want you to really work on your self-esteem and your body image because you look great. So now Kyle's like, well, I'm going to be wearing cover-ups the whole entire time. Ramona's like, you are crazy. Like, I'm just getting so angry hearing this. So Kyle's really touched at how Ramona's being so sweet to her and encouraging her about her body. It's so crazy because as awful as Ramona is 99.9% of the time, there are moments each season where she can show a little bit of humanity for 5 seconds. That was sweet of her to encourage Kyle and let Kyle know that she looks great and that she should have more confidence. I have to say, when it comes to seeing or hearing my friends talk down about themselves, I get really upset about that. I'm like, stop it. I'm not doing that. Like, you look real good. Like, if you're my friend, I'm not ever going to let you talk badly about yourself. I don't play that. Like, I need all my friends to have very high self-esteem. I want you to think that you are the baddest thing that ever walked this earth. You hear me? Like, I don't have time for all that. You know, oh, I don't look good. No, if you with me, you better know you look good. What? I will literally fight you if I hear you talking bad about yourself. But y'all, that was the episode. Let me tell you something. This first episode started off with a bang. I love the show. I love the concept. Bravo. You should have done this a lot earlier. So, as always, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed my recap. And you already know what to do. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all later. Bye.